Okay, I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but I am so excited. I am installing an electric sunshade on my Tesla Model Y today. Thank you to EVBase for sending this to me, but I am so excited. Let's go ahead and start with the installation. And I know it's nighttime, but the Vegas heat is too much. I think I will get a heat stroke if I ever did it in the morning, but I just got home and I found this package, so I am so excited. Let's go ahead and install this. Okay, excuse the lighting. I am currently using my phone as my flashlight. And also, this is my current situation. So I have a magnetic sunshade. What happens is that I can just clip this on and off whenever I need it to protect me from the heat and the sun. But it's kind of annoying when you have to take it out every summer. But what the plan is to use the electric sunshade, and it'll stay on top of my roof year round. And then whenever I'm feeling like I want to see the glass and let the light in, I'll zzz, and then it'll open. And then whenever it's too hot and it's the summertime, I'll zzz, and it'll electrically close. How cool, right? So I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can install this alone. And I've seen some other people do it online, so hopefully I can do it myself as well. But I'm gonna go ahead and take this down first, and then I'll open the box to see the new one. All right, so this is the whole piece. It is protectively wrapped. I love that EVBase does this because it makes it so much more simple and makes sure that shipping is clean and everything. Okay, and how you're gonna get it in is that I'm gonna put it in like this, slide it, and then all the way in. Now you want to make sure that the motor is also going to be in the back right here. Okay, now before I actually go through the installation process, I actually want to show you guys what EVBase sends as well. So they send this foam. This is going to be to cover up the front piece because there's going to be some screws right there that you can cover with this felt piece. And then they also send you a pair of gloves. Of course, this is going to be the instruction and owner manual. And there's also voice instructions right here that you can use. These are going to be the two brackets. So these brackets go in the visors, and that's how you're going to screw it on. Here, I'll show you. So it's going to be these two brackets, and then they are also lined with felt on the front right here, so that on the glass roof, it won't rattle or anything like that. It also comes with a screwdriver, which you'll need this to screw in. A prior tool. This is so that you can fit the wiring through here. And then another screwdriver, electrical tape, and then of course the screws. So there's actually 3 of them just in case you lose one. All right, so I'm gonna prop this up and we're gonna start getting into the installation process of it. Okay, so right now I have it very, very carefully propped up. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna break off the weather guard right here. And then we are plugging in the lights. So we're gonna go ahead and take the wiring, which is gonna be this right here. And then it's gonna be this side with the seat folding down. I'll bring you guys in for a closer look as well. All right, so as you guys can see, I've pulled it out. It is gonna be lower than your seat one, so make sure it's gonna be at the end of your taillight right here. We're gonna unplug it. Okay, so there was 2 ends. As you guys can see, I plugged one into the cigarette lighter one, and then the other one, the original cigarette lighter, goes into this other socket. All right, I'm gonna tuck this back inside, and then keep in mind there is glue, so it's gonna be a little bit sticky from the weather seal. And then we're gonna take this piece, and then we're gonna run it all the way up to the roof. Okay, so there's actually something that I've been struggling for about an hour now. And what it is getting this electrical wiring from this rooftop piece through this headliner. So I believe, I don't know if Tesla just did a better job on insulation or whatever happened, but basically what I'm going to do right now is I'm taping this to a chopstick. Now, I don't think you should be using a chopstick, but this is the only thing I have with me. People have been using, okay, I'm cleaning up right now, and I also want to mention, do not use a chopstick because this is what happened. There's a lot of pressure, and I don't want you guys to break your glass. Luckily, I didn't break my glass, but make sure you get a zip tied, something malleable and flexible so that it doesn't happen to you. I'm really thankful that I didn't break my glass right now, but do not follow my footsteps in this area. fishing wires and zip ties to get it through, but I'm gonna use a chopstick, and I'm basically gonna pull down the headliner from the backside right here, and I'm gonna stick it all the way through. And I've also been having trouble because this has been falling down since I've been doing this alone. Hopefully that doesn't happen again, and hopefully this headliner will stay and nothing will break and everything will be all happy. But yes. It finally did it. I definitely think that you should be using something like a fish wire or a malleable plastic piece instead of using what I used, which was a chopstick, because I think it kind of ruined some of the insulation right here, but it's fine for me because it's my car, but I don't want you to ruin your car. All right, I'm getting the electrical tape off right now. Okay, I plugged in the pieces together and I saw a little spark, so definitely there is a connection, and now what I'm gonna do is put back the weather strip on. Okay, so I just want to let you guys know, to be completely transparent, I have been working up a sweat. Honestly, I think it's been about almost maybe like 40 minutes, maybe even an hour, trying to put this up by myself. I highly do not recommend it. I recommend getting another person. It'll help a lot more. I actually did some damage to my car, and I don't want that to happen to you guys. So definitely get another person. I'll show you guys the damage. It kept on falling down because there was nothing to hold it. And it kind of scratched up the back of my headliner just because the brackets were already installed over there. So basically what you do is you take this whole roof, you slide it to the back, and then it would be great if you had someone hold it. And then basically you put the front up with the brackets that were included, and then you screw it in. And there's places for you to screw it because it aligns with the headliner, and then you just kind of put that in. So I'll show you guys a little bit more of a close-up about what I am talking about. And I am definitely sweating, and I highly do not recommend that you install this alone. I recommend that you get a friend, or at least up until this part, make sure you get a friend or someone to hold that up so that you can install it to the front and it won't keep on falling and it won't scratch the back of your car. Okay, so it was a pretty snug fit. Now what had happened was this part is a screw that aligns with the bracket right there, and then we have this one on this side as well, and then you just screw it through this metal piece right here, and then it should go into the metal bracket that's on the other side right there. As you guys can see, there's a metal bracket right behind it. They go in together, and that's how it's held in place, along with 3 brackets on the back. So it's going to be left, middle, and then the right side right there. Okay, now before the sunshade is completely done, I actually am going to install this felt thing. So this felt will go over the metal piece so that it'll hide it and make it a lot more seamless inside your car. Okay, so I put on the felt, and now you can't see any of the screws, and you can barely even tell that it's here, also because it's nighttime. Okay, so it is finally installed. This is what it looks like. I will give you guys a morning look as well. I know it is quite dark right now. So I'm gonna go ahead and press this. And it's closing. I'm so happy. And you can also stop it midway if you want, so you can press that. So if you press once really quickly, it'll automatically do a 1 all the way. And then same thing with the other side, 1 all the way. And I'll let that close, and then you guys can also do a long press to stop it where you want to. So for the long press, it's like this. And if I want it to just stop, I will just let go. And then same thing, quick press all the way. So yeah, that's so exciting. I'm gonna go ahead and finish up in the back, and then I'll show you guys everything in the morning as well so that you guys can see what it looks like. I am also going to clean my glass, but like I said, make sure that you install this with another person. It will make life a lot easier. And also try not to do this during the daytime if it's going to be super duper hot. Thank you again to EV Base. You can go ahead and use my code Ryan20 to get 20% off your order, and I'll also link this exact one below. They also have this for the Juniper one as well, so if you have a newer Tesla Model Y, you can get that as well. So I highly make sure that you check them out. They have tons of accessories. I am so incredibly happy with this because now I can just do that, and it makes life so much easier, especially when it's okay. I know it looks like a mess, but I'm just gonna finish my install here. So basically, I am gonna pull the excess wiring, and then I'm gonna tuck it back in this little sliver of an area. All right, so after you have tucked that in, go ahead and make sure you put back your weather seal. Make sure that this is all tucked in and nice. All right, just like that, everything is already done. It is all sealed back up. Just go ahead and make sure you also check your cigarette lighter just in case, and then you can also replug that in if needed. And then I also want to show you guys the areas that I scratched. You can't really see it right now since it's nighttime, but I will show you guys in the morning. So it's going to be these little creases right here. I'm not sure you guys can see it through the camera. I know you can see this one right now, but just those are some of the areas. Same with right here. But like I said, I don't really look back here too much, and I just wanted to make sure that you know that you should have a second hand of help, and that will make life just a lot more easier. And yeah. All right, so this is gonna be the control as well. And then this was gonna be an area that I believe I scratched. And as you guys can see, there's a little bit of like marks, and I believe that's just from like my hand grime as well. So I'm gonna go ahead and wipe that away with the microfiber. And then also you can very clearly see on the back that there's gonna be a mark right there. And then right over here, those are gonna be some of the scratches that I made with the brackets since it kept on falling since I didn't have a second person helping me. But I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can wipe that away, and then I'll show you guys in a bit. Okay, so we are a couple clips way after, but this is me having it after a couple of days. So I also wiped down the headliner just because the installation messed up or made it a little bit more dirty because of the dust and everything that was going on with my hands, but I wanted to show you guys what it looks like now. So this is what it looks like now, and I've cleaned everything, and it looks just so incredibly seamless. It is very OEM, and even to the touch of the buttons and everything, it looks great. And then I'll also close it. And then just like that, I am blocked out of the heat. All right, so I am so glad that I installed this. Thank you to EV-Base again. Like I said, make sure you guys have a second pair of hands just to help you guys around. It'll make life a lot easier. But I'll go ahead and put some morning clips as well to show you guys what it's like in the daytime. I'm gonna make sure to clean up with the glass, and I'll show you guys the areas of the car that got scratched, but it's just the headliner and it's in the back personally for me, but I know I've seen other people install it and they also had some issues. So just make sure you have a second hand, and it'll be a lot more helpful. If you guys want to install this on your own as well, go ahead and check out EV-Base. They're going to be in my link below, and also use my code Ryan20, and then you can get 20% off your next purchase with them. They have so many Tesla accessories. Just go ahead and check them out. I'll see you guys in the next one.